Welcome to FPL Bandwagons Game Week 9, the vlog that analyses fantasy transfer trends. So much can happen in 2 weeks, can't it? And in fantasy league terms, a lot of this has revolved around Sergio Aguero. Without a goal in so long, the most expensive player in the game finally delivered, and it was in style, becoming only the 5th player to score 5 goals in a Premier League match. It was against Newcastle, and it was a very strange game because we were 1-0 up and should have been 2 or 3-0 up. We were dominant, and yet in 20 minutes Man City scored 6 goals. It was remarkable. I've never seen anything like it. I think they were doing their own version of what Robert Lewandowski did the other week. And it split fantasy football into 2 camps. It was the Aguero owners and the non-Aguero owners, or more specifically those who captained Aguero and those who didn't, because Captain Aguero alone scored 50 points, which is more than a lot of people score in total in a week. So all those people like me who have learned from the past and aren't casual players, and we know what works, but it just hasn't happened so far. Every week has been incredibly frustrating. I mean, dropping down the leagues, seeing all these casuals winning leagues, and it was frustrating. But this, by Captain Aguero, it's all undone. And then the dreaded international break came along, and as you'd expect, there were a few injuries, but this time there seemed to be an endless supply of them. Sergio Aguero done his hamstring in Argentina's shock 2-0 home defeat to Ecuador. Now, Aguero himself has said that he expects to be out between a month and 2 months, so for those 100,000 odd people who brought him in immediately after the 5 goals he scored, they're going to have to take 4-point hits just to take him out. He's going to be out for a while, and that is going to be a lot of 4-point hits going around this week because David Silva injured his ankle. He'll be out for 2 to 3 weeks. ACLs all over the place. Tim Krul ACL, Joe Gomez ACL, Danny Ings ACL. It's becoming like the metatarsal of the 2010s. As well as that, Alexander Kolarov limped off. Branislav Ivanovic done his hamstring. It seems like the last man standing. There's not many players left. It's been all about Aguero, all about injuries, and yet Jurgen Klopp's arrived at Liverpool. Brendan Rodgers was sacked. Klopp mania has begun. Allardyce has come in for Dick Advocaat at Sunderland. Chelsea lost again. Mourinho's under pressure. In the meantime, let's just skip out in the bandwagons. The first bandwagon this week is Graziano Pelle. As we debate Aguero replacements, the likes of Lukaku, Diego Costa, Daniel Sturridge, Jamie Vardy, and even Bonnie have been mentioned as alternatives for the next month to 2 months. But by far the standout in-form striker is Graziano Pelle, and I brought him in 2 weeks ago just at the right time. In the last 3 games he scored 3 goals, 4 assists, about 6 bonus points. He's double figuring it all the time. He is the top scorer in Fantasy League forward. He's heavily involved in Southampton's goals. He's the focal point. The stats are absolutely overwhelming for Pelle because out of all the strikers in the game, he's had the most shots in the box by quite a bit, 2nd most amount of open play chances, 3rd most shots on target, and most penalty area touches by a long way. If you're looking at these underlying stats, he's an absolute machine. He's a monster. And Mane and Tadic are great options, but at the end of the day, the focus of their product is Pelle himself. So let's just go straight for Pelle. I would, without doubt, get on this bandwagon. Kevin De Bruyne. With Aguero out and Silva out, it means we're desperate for some sort of Man City coverage as they face Bournemouth at home, Norwich at home, Villa away soon. We're desperate for City coverage, and KDB is on fire. Absolutely on fire. He scored 3 goals and 2 assists in his 4 Premier League games already. He's got a Capital One Cup goal for Man City, a goal and an assist for Belgium on Tuesday. He's in absolutely frightening form. The 55 million fee is a lot of money, but to be fair, he's doing his best to pay that back. All he can do is score, and that's exactly what he is doing. Great fixtures, great form. I'm not too sure if Bonnie or Sterling can be relied upon, so by default, De Bruyne is the only source for Man City. So I would get on this bandwagon. And the third one this week, a little bit left field, Johan Cabaye. The former Newcastle midfielder was star of the show in Crystal Palace's 2-0 win over West Brom. He scored and got an assist, and got bonuses, so it was a 14-point haul. It was his third goal of the season, and for midfielders, that's only been bettered by Sanchez, Mahrez, Payet, and Ayew. Two of those were penalties, however, but that's not a bad thing. It means in a side with lots of attacking, pacey, tricky wingers, they probably are going to get a lot of penalties this year. The stats show that Palace have perhaps been a bit lucky, and soon things are probably going to even out, such the way the world works. And Cabaye, I know this personally from his time at Newcastle, but he gets a lot of silly yellow cards. He's had 3 already, and I don't know what these were for, but at Newcastle it would just be kicking players. It was just, so he's already quite close to a suspension. I would personally stay off this bandwagon. It isn't bias. I just think he's slightly overrated. Penalties are a plus, but Palace have very tough games coming up, and there are better options. Right, let's look at the game week 8 team of the week. 2 of the players didn't play, because for some reason Mahrez was dropped, and that screwed everyone over. But both Watford players delivered. Gomez with the save, Igalo with the goal, and of course Sergio Aguero there. So that took us up to 66 points. I did say Captain Aguero, so technically that would put us up to 91 points. This week I've gone for, well, it's heavily relying on Man City and Arsenal, but also Newcastle in there. Dawali Ahmad has had an incredible, he's had 9 shots on goal already, and he's a right back. Mitrovic is very, very impressive, and I expect big things from him. His attitude, his work rate, his strength, he is an absolute beast. His determination to succeed is infectious, and I have him in my team. I think he's fantastic. Captain, really tough call. You can basically toss a coin between De Bruyne, Sanchez and Pella. I'm personally probably going to go De Bruyne. Just got a feeling about that this week. And on that note, best of luck to everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.